Hi, second graders. Today we are going to continue talking about context clues, and today we're going to be talking about examples. How when an author gives us a word that maybe we're not as familiar with in our reading, a lot of times they will give us examples of things to help us figure out what that word means in that text. So let's look at the example up here. It says the decor, including the fancy lights, beautiful paintings, and unique furniture, made the house look stunning. So I can infer that decor means if you have fancy lights and paintings and furniture, so the stuff in a room, right, would be the decor. So that is what we're going to talk about today. And the way that we're going to do it is we're going to read this book. It's called Baloney. All right. Some of you may have read this book before, and I'm going to try to get it close so that you'll be able to see as I read. This is a classic book for giving you hints to what a word might be, giving you examples. Last Tuesday morning at 8:37 a.m., Henry P. Baloney was finally late for class once too often. "That's it," said Miss Bugscuffle. "Permanent lifelong detention unless you have one very good reason and very believable excuse." "Well, I would have been exactly on time," said Henry, "but..." "I misplaced my trusty Zimulus. Then I found it on my desk. But someone had put my desk in a Torcu. The Torcu drove me right here to Skakola. But, so these are some very funky words, aren't they? But look, I misplaced my trusty Zimulus. Well, I'm going to use the pictures, and so they're giving us examples, right, of what that word could mean. And here I think a Zimulus probably means a pencil. Then I found it on my desk. Okay, and so again, I look at this picture. Looks like a desk, doesn't it? So I am going to think, I think a desk is actually a desk. Someone had put my desk in a Torcu. What is a Torcu? Let's read on. The Torcu drove me right here to Skakola. But, so what do you think? It looks kind of like a rocket, doesn't it? Okay, but it drove him there. So maybe kind of like a bus. Look at our pictures to help us with the clues. Then it drove right past. I grabbed my Zimulus and jumped out. But I jumped smack in the middle of a Razzo lunch pad. What do you think a Razzo is? So it's giving us examples. Do you think maybe a Razzo is a rocket of some sort? Or a spaceship? I used my Zimulus to pop open the escape porto, but it turned out to be a porto into the next Razzo blasting off. So I'm going to use my examples and see that probably a porto is like the door to the rocket, but then it went into the next one blasting off. I jammed the Razzo controls with my Zimulus so I could land behind Skakola and still be on time. But, do you like the way that they're using the ellipsis? We've talked about that this year, haven't we? That it means there's more to come. I jammed the wrong Batuna and ended up on the planet Astrosis. Uh-oh. So I jammed the wrong Batuna. Are you looking? Do you see what it's possibly meaning? And landed on the planet Astrosus. I entertained the Astro guys with my very funny Pixus. But they decided my Pixus and I would be entertaining to eat. So look, does he look like maybe he's drawing a picture with the stars? So using our clues, our examples, maybe a Pixus means a picture. Oh, I don't want to be eaten though. I changed their minds with geodrams and calculations. So fantastic, they crowned me Kanungus of the whole planet. But I forgot the Astrosus word for thank you and accidentally used the word for doofbrain. So look here. I changed their minds with, look, all kinds of graphics and math. And then they crowned him, looks like a king. That maybe is what Kangangus is. But then he kind of offended him, didn't he? I foiled their plan to disintegrate me by plugging their blassa with my stimulus. So, ooh, look. Do you see the pictures? Look, he's kind of like putting it in the end of it. I think maybe that was his blaster, like a ray gun or something, you think? Looks like it. But they made me a new plan to send me back in a sighing fosser to Fracas, our Zacola. I erased the sighing flosser, fricassee instructions, but look, they're going to send him back. Do you think maybe that's a flying saucer instead of what they said? Look, the pictures, what he's in. I also erased the sighing flosser Porto lock and fell out. I dropped like an Eurorack. I was only 3 seconds away from Zerplatzen all over the speeplaps. Not even my trusty Zimulus could save me. Uh-oh, so look, he's falling. And then look, he was seconds away from kind of splatting. Don't you think that's what that means? Zerplatzen. So what did you do? Said Miss Bugscuffle. How could you possibly save yourself? I suddenly remembered that falling bodies obey the law of gravity. And I hadn't learned the law of gravity yet, so I stopped and came to Zacola. All of which made me exactly 7 minutes late this morning. Henry P. Baloney, said Miss Bugscuffle, that is unbelievable. But today's assignment is to compose a tall tale. So why don't you sit down and get started writing? I'd love to, said Henry. But I seem to have misplaced my Zimulus. So this was a very funny book. But all the way through the book, we had to use the examples of words that they made up. So, of course, we weren't familiar with them, right? And we used the examples in the pictures and in the text to help us understand what that word meant. So today, in your independent reading, I want you to try it out too. I want you to look in your reading and see if you can find a place where you didn't know a word, or maybe it was not a familiar word, and then you use the examples that they gave in order to figure out what that word meant. Okay? I can't wait to hear about it. Bye.